you got waxed today.
Yes.
This is all for the preening of Reno. We're preparing for Reno.
Yeah.
And you got waxed today. And Lennox and I went to the pool. And we both left at the same time. And the plan was Lennox and I will be at the pool. You come home from your wax, which is close. You'll be home in 30, 45 minutes. And then you were going to join us at the pool. And then, so Lennox and I are having a grand old time at the pool. And you show up. And then you say, I can't swim.
Yeah.
And why is that?
So.
Okay.
I was at my wax. I was laying there.
Yeah.
Getting waxed. And the lady.
Yeah.
I don't know her title.
What's her name? Do you remember?
Hannah.
Hannah Duke Keller?
This is my my beautician, my waxing beautician or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, Hannah. She said, "What are you doing today?" And I said, "Well, when I get home, I'm going to go swimming." I know.
That's your first error, honey. You never engage in the small talk.
I hate the small talk.
But you get engaged.
Well, I have to answer. What am I supposed to say?
You give a general, vague... When I get asked the small talk, what are you doing this weekend? What are you doing today? What do you got going on? I just say, just hanging out. Like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone. Just hanging out. That's my standard go-to. Sometimes I'll throw in running errands because it's very general. It's very broad. No one wants to hear about errands. It's boring. But you engage in the small talk.
Well, I feel obligated to provide an honest answer.
Hanging out is honest.
That's true. Well, I'm glad I told her I was swimming because she immediately said, no, you can't go swimming. And she said, especially if your pool has salt water, which I think ours, that's why I was asking you about.
Yeah.
I know our pool at one point was salt water. I don't know if they've changed it.
I think it does. Or it's really salty chlorine.
Or we just got used to it after all this time.
Yeah.
So she's like, no, your pores are going to be open. Your skin is going to get really irritated. And we just had that fiasco with my face a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
So I'm really hyper vigilant about protecting my skin from irritation and any sort of outbreak. And
and you don't want...
I'm traumatized still.
What would you rather have an outbreak on your face or your hoo-ha there?
Well.
Your hey nanny.
I guess the face I would not want because people are saying it.
The face is very public.
But what would be the most uncomfortable or painful? That matters.
Well, face is very... there's a lot of nerves there.
Sure, it could be. And then you have to... Anytime you move your mouth to chew or talk, then it's like... Wah, 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 and your face is getting... Your skin's getting irritated and there's movement involved.
Yeah, I told... Well, first of all, I couldn't even believe you engage in this nonsense banter. But you do, like, when we go to Walmart or Target, Trader Joe's, if the cashier asks us about our weekend, you give our plans.
Very detailed.
Which are never grand.
I give our itinerary.
No.
I feel obligated.
Yeah.
I don't know how to... I don't know how to not be rude. I don't want to be rude, and I don't know how to...
I think /no.
Do you think you know?
They don't care. I don't care. So just giving them... Just hanging out is perfectly fine, and then they've done their duty to inquire about my well-being, my welfare, and I've done my duty and responded. I haven't been a jerk. It's perfectly suitable answer.
Well, I hate that they put me in this position. Just don't talk to me.
Yeah.
I would prefer complete silence anytime I interact with anybody.
Yeah. And TJ's supermarket is vastly different from a girl up in your hey nanny. So I would imagine you're more vulnerable there. You're more apt to discuss. And then you got your hair did by Hazi Rad.
Yesterday I got my hair dyed and cut.
Yeah, and she chatted loudly for 2 hours straight.
Hazy talks nonstop. I barely get a word in edgewise.
Yeah.
She's like yelling. She talks so loud.
Well, you gotta compensate for the hair dryer, right? No?
That's a very small. That's like 15 minutes of the 2-hour process is the hair dryer. The majority of the time, it's not. She just talks.
So she's just loud.
Yeah.
So other people in the salon are like, "Oh, God, here's Hazy going on for 3 hours again." Yeah.
And we talk sometimes about like controversial topics or politics or various things. She's like yelling, and I always wonder. I do feel like other patrons are like looking at us, or like we draw attention, or she does, I should say, because I'm just sitting there like, Does
she talk about like? Is she MAGA, honey? Is she QAnon?
No,
Is she in favor of the Snyder Cut, honey?
She's pretty liberal, and she talks crap about other dissenting beliefs.
So she's for BLM, but against January 6th. Is that how? Why would anyone talk about anything on the socials? I think a very super small 1% of the people talk about Roe v. Wade or gun mass shootings on the socials, but they're so loud and it seems like a lot, so people feel the need to people think it's bigger than it is, but day to day real life.
I think she talks to me because we've been seeing each other once every 8 weeks for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
So we know each other.
Your mom goes to her?
Yeah. We know each other. Like she knows that she and I are on the same page, like in a lot of our beliefs.
Yeah.
So she knows that she has like I agree with her a lot. So I think that's why she maybe is so free with what she's saying. But she doesn't seem to care if other people hear. Like, she does not care.
Yeah.
She's very loud. And she's very funny. So sometimes, like, a customer from across the room will, like, shout back, like, join in the conversation. And then other people join in. It's very loud. So
I want silence.
I'm, like, very self-conscious, but...
Yeah.
People like it. She likes it. I get exhausted. Like I just want to sit here and get my hair cut. I'm so tired. I don't want to.
Because sometimes it goes for 2 hours and 45 minutes, 3 hours.
Yes.
I'm tired just even thinking about it. I lied to Walmart, but Walmart lied to me first. We do the grocery pickup. We go on their website on usually Thursday. We order up all of our necessities, and then we pick it up Saturday morning, 11ish. Mm-hmm. And it's fantastic going aisle by aisle and putting things into your cart and then putting them on the conveyor belt at the cashier and then putting back them into your cart and then putting it into your trunk.
Oh my gosh.
It's for the birds. Who does that anymore? But we do the pickup, and on Friday night you put in Bertolli light tasting olive oil.
Yes, sir.
Which is about $7 for a big bottle.
Yeah, 25 ounces.
Yeah, large bottle.
I think it's $7.98.
And then I saw this large bottle in our shopping cart, and I said, "New."
I knew because I added it behind your back.
Yeah.
And
you did.
It's not the
What else are you doing behind my back?
It's not the great value, cheap crap.
Correct. Wait. Cheap, yes. Crap.
Okay. But I knew when I added, I was like, this is I'm taking a risk here.
Yeah.
I'm risking Vince's wrath.
Yes. And this is a week after you added $26 of bacon into our shopping cart.
Well, luckily you intervened with
which
that.
I canceled
yes.
the morning of because I was like, that's a lot of bacon.
You rescued us from $26 worth of bacon.
Yeah. But the Bertolli is fine. Great value. It's a lesser olive oil, but I think it's fine. Olive oil, it's like 0.2% of a dish, honey.
Bertolli is on the lower end, too, I must tell you.
Oh, really?
Yes. Did you know that?
No.
I could be getting twice the amount.
What's the high end? Not Wesson or Mazzola, right?
I don't. It's the stuff on the very bottom shelf. It's super expensive.
Yeah. But so you added the Bertolli, and then Saturday morning I was like, no. So I canceled. Well, it was too late to cancel Saturday morning. So I picked up our groceries and I said, well, I'm going to cancel it. When they load up your vehicle, you can say, I don't want this, I don't want that. I'm not, and they'll just take it out.
Yeah, and they're supposed to take it off your total that you end up paying. Right.
They take it physically out of your trunk or one of your bags, and then they take it off the receipt, the till. And I told them specifically, and by the way, beforehand, I walked in and I bought great value, light tasting olive oil, because that's what you preferred, right?
I do.
The light tasting?
I'm not about that EVOO, that extra virgin olive oil.
EVOO.
I like the light tasting olive oil.
Rachel Ray says, well, even more so. Light tasting, so it even factors less into cooking. So let's go with the great value. We're a great value family, honey. Yes.
And you know what? I know in my heart that all of this stuff is like 0.05 true olive oil. Yeah. And the rest is like not real olive oil.
Yeah.
And yet I can't help but succumb to the Bertolli brand name as opposed to the great value.
Right. Well, they have fancy marketing.
Yeah.
Fancy logo, packaging.
Pretty label.
It's beautiful, and it's big and it's intimidating. It's imposing, the size of the bottle. Don't pronounce it with a D, honey. It's not bottle. It's bottle.
Okay.
So I walked in there, and it's half the cost. Bertolli is per ounce is 37 per ounce. So 37 cents per ounce. Great value.
It's like 13.
14 cents per ounce. So I grabbed the great value before and then pulled into the pickup section, and I told the young gentleman, there were a couple young gentlemen loading up my car. And I said, hey, please cancel. I don't want the Bertolli olive oil. And I said, okay, I'll take care of that for you. And then came home. We had the Bertolli olive oil. And we were charged for the Bertolli olive oil. So 2 times bad.
So now we have 2 bottles of olive oil.
Yeah.
Great value and Bertolli.
Yeah. And so I thought, okay, well, I could drive back to Walmart and say, oh, I want to return this. But I thought, no. Well, there's 2 things. So I could have sat, and there's people who do this because we watch this while waiting for our groceries sometimes. There's people who get out of their car and go by bag by bag, and they're like, okay, this and this and this. We don't do that.
We don't got time for that.
And we trust, and majority of the time they're accurate.
Yeah.
So I didn't get out of my car. They loaded me up, came home, got the huge Bertolli, nearly $8. So I said, okay, well, I could drive back to Walmart and say, I don't want this. And they would take it back in a second, no problem. But I thought, no. Because I told the employee, I don't want the Bertolli olive oil. And he registered it. Mm-hmm. He responded, okay, I'll take that off for you. So he didn't take it off. He still charged me. And I thought, well, I don't want to go back to Walmart. So I go into the app and I say, well, I have no choice here, but I'm going to claim a missing item, which you can do. Like if you buy 80 things and they didn't load the box of Cheez-Its, which happens, you go into the app and you say, this is a missing item. I didn't get my box of Cheez-Its. And usually it's pretty painless process. But I go into the app and I say, I didn't get my nearly $8 bottle of Bertolli light tasting olive oil. And I said, well, you got to call this number. So it's a higher ticket item. It's not like $1 or $2.
And by the way, you've gone through this process.
Yeah.
For items that literally were like 89 cents.
Right.
And you're like, I'm getting my 89 cents back.
Right.
They forgot to load our microwavable broccoli.
Yeah. But those were legitimate gripes.
True.
Those were honest and truthful.
So you're admitting this is not an honest and legitimate claim.
Correct.
Okay.
But the guy lied to me, so I'm going to lie back. So I call the phone number that they give me. We can't process this return through the app. Please call this number. And this has happened before, as you mentioned. So I call, and I'm very woke. I'm very sophisticated, but I assume it was a gentleman in a third world country. Okay, whatever. You want to outsource your call centers? That's fine. I don't care. But I say, hey, I didn't have the Bertolli, olive oil, and whatever his name was, Steve. He said, okay, no problem. Took a minute or two, but he refunded me. So I lied, but Walmart lied to me first.
You lied. No one died.
I lied. People died. No one died. And I feel I will go to sleep tonight. It will not keep me up. It didn't keep me up last night. Today is Sunday. This happened Saturday. I feel it was a gross error on their part. It's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Who gives a shit?
Take that, Walton family.
Yeah, Walton.
You corrupt, greedy capitalists.
This is what you get for being a publicly traded company worth billions and billions of dollars. So I lied, and I don't care because of they lied first. And I realize that's the rationalization of a 6-year-old. You lied. Well, they lied first. But who cares?
So I've learned my lesson. I'm not even going to put the Bertolli in the cart.
Yeah.
I'll just stick with the Great Value brand.
It's fine, right?
I guess.
It's half the cost, darling.
I need to do a blind taste test before I can answer that question.
Okay, we'll do that for the pod. But a week or two ago, we said if there is a great value alternative, we are going to purchase a great value alternative.
Right.
If there's a generic brand, then we're going to purchase the generic brand, because sometimes it's a minute amount of savings, but sometimes in terms of Bertolli, it's half price.
It's huge. We had a family meeting a couple of weeks ago, and we're like, we need to cut our grocery costs down.
Yeah.
Which prompted Lennox to ask, why are we poor now?
Yeah. And I said, blame Grandma Tien.
So we're trying to be cheap.
We are. Just smarter.
Yeah.
Smarter.
Okay. And there are certain items where I need to go name brand, and I have to defend that.
Okay.
When it comes to olive oil, I don't. So
Okay.
I'm going to let the Bertolli go.
Can you think of anything where you have to go name brand?
No.
Okay.
Not at this moment.
I should have prepped you in the pre-interview, honey.
And oop.
Okay, now Chris Brown, and you can think of
Wife abuser.
You can think about him whatever you want to think about him, and Drake, and you can think about him whatever you want to think about
Poser.
him. I don't care. No one cares except you, and that's fine.
I don't care.
They both have new music out. Okay, and I listened to the singles of both, because who has time for these albums? Just right off the bat, the album as an artistic expression or as a work of art.
As a medium, it no longer applies to the way that we listen to music.
Right.
So,
It'd be like watching a movie with all the unedited stuff, I want a single. I want the radio-friendly hit single that's hopefully 3 to 4 minutes long, because I want your best stuff. And these albums with 12 tracks or 17 songs, or I think Chris Brown's has 20 plus songs on it. What is that for? It used to be to sell CDs.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, I like this single. I like these 2 hit singles. So I'm going to buy an album of 14 tracks for $17.99 at Sam Goody or the Warehouse. And that's how they made their money. But today, it's just no longer relevant.
Yeah.
It's anachronistic, if you will, honey. But I've listened to Chris Brown's new stuff and Drake's new stuff. It's fine. Whatever. And Beyonce.
Did you listen to her new song?
Yes. Yes,
1 out of 10.
She samples Robin S.'s "Show Me Love," which, if you were in the '90s, if you were alive in the '90s, you got that song. But so these 3 new releases, I listened to it and I thought, okay, they're fine. They're well produced. Some work went into them. But I'm at the point in my life, and I'm nearly 45. I'll be 45 in September, right?
You old.
I'm old. I'm a crazy old lady. But I listen to these. I'm like, okay. But I'm to the point in my life where I use the phrase, I like their old stuff. I like their older stuff better. This new stuff,
I don't know if I'm also getting old.
Yeah.
I'm a baby compared to you. I'm only 38.
Yeah.
But so I feel like that's a valid thing.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's just our age. Like,
but
music's gone downhill.
But
music sucks.
Well, that phrase and just music peaked in 1989. It's very old person.
I know.
And Drake and Chris Breezy and Beyonce are still trying to sound relevant and still trying to sell, still trying to get radio airplay. But and I'm sure it's fine. It is fine because it's well produced, and you could tell like it's not a SoundCloud rapper, who they permeate radio nowadays.
Sure.
By the way, but you could tell work and care and production went into this, but I don't dig it. It's not for me, and nothing will eclipse like Drake God's Plan, or You Used to Call Me on My Cell Phone, or Chris Brown Loyal. So good.
Give me that Ashley Simpson Pieces of Me.
Yeah.
2004.
Right.
That's what I long for.
Yeah. And I used my friend / coworker, he's older than me. He's about 7 years older than me. Our age difference, honey. But I remember in the early aughts, and we're both in rap and hip hop, and a new Jay-Z song would come out, and I would really dig it, and he'd be like, nothing good has come out since 1989.
That's a ridiculous statement.
Well,
I'm sorry.
But it isn't, because now it's 2022, and I'm like, nothing great has come out since 2013. The new stuff, it's fine, but it's not for me. I don't care about it. And I hearken back to old school Drake.
Old school Drake is so good.
Yeah, it's so good. And I get he's still putting stuff out there, but I don't care. And it's like your Star Wars hot take.
Oh yeah. Star Wars peaked in 1981.
1981. And all this nonsense of Obi-Wan and The Mandalorian are... I wouldn't even say they're trying to get to that peak. They're just existing there because that peak happened, and people still have a fondness for it, and people still will care about it and talk about it and watch it.
They're running on fumes.
Yeah. They're running on fumes.
I think a problem with music, though, specifically, is that back in the day, to get your stuff heard, you had to be produced and released by these big-time labels. Yeah. And the only way that you were exposed to people was on the radio, and with having a physical CD in a physical store.
Yes.
And nowadays, the majority of musicians, like, there are a lot of famous people are on TikTok.
Yeah.
Or they're on SoundCloud or various like online websites.
Yeah.
And it's more of a niche audience.
Yeah.
It's not getting broad play. I listen to the radio, the FM dial on my car while I drive. Mm-hmm. And I'm only getting a small sample. And it's most of it's like unlistenable.
Yeah.
But the stuff that our kids are like the youth are being exposed to and hearing.
Yeah.
That's hot with them.
Yeah.
It's on TikTok, and it's on these like So it's just it's changed so much.
Yeah. Like music comes, its first attempt is through traditional means, radio. But there are numerous accounts of songs and music that have found a second life or a new life on TikTok. Meet Me at Our Spot, which we watched the video for Will Smith's daughter and her boyfriend at the time. And we watched that music video for 2.5 hours straight one night. But that came out via traditional means, and it didn't really hit, but it became a sensation on TikTok.
That's an interesting thing about TikTok is a lot of brand new artists, like people making a song in their garage, getting big and famous on TikTok. But TikTok has also brought new exposure and new listenerships to songs from the 80s and the 90s. Yeah. So I'll sing a song that's 40 years old, and the kids will be like, "Oh, I heard that on TikTok." Yeah. I'm like, "Do you realize that song's as old as I am?" Yeah. TikTok is it's its own beast. It's a beast of a platform.
It's its own animal. That makes me think of Glee, Don't Stop Believin', which found a huge resurgence strictly from the cover.
True. Glee had a lot of that. Like they covered a lot of older songs and gave them new life and a new audience.
Yeah. Going back to your hair, honey.
Yes.
The Hazi Rad. You got it colored.
Yes, sir.
And then we went. This was today's Sunday. This happened Saturday. You got it colored, and then we went to the pool.
Let's go to the pool. Ooh.
Let's go get away. Me, you, and Lennox went to the pool yesterday, and you were very insistent on not getting your hair wet.
Correct.
In the pool.
That's right.
So you wore this visor deal, and you were you're very militant about not getting your hair wet. So my question is, why didn't you want to get it wet? And how long does the hazy effect last? Because you have to shower and you go to sleep. So whatever Hazi did on Saturday, and you took a picture, you look gorgeous, you look beautiful, you had your pink sunglasses on, you were out here living your best life. But how long until the hazy effect goes away? Is it that night? Is it 2-3 days? Because we're gonna go to Reno in about a week and
a little over a week. Yeah. We're leaving. Yeah. So Hazi bleaches. She does highlights, and it's like bleach. Yeah. And it's very stark and noticeable the very first day. Yeah. The very first 2 days. Yeah.
But as far as I'm
sorry.
The curls,
I'm burping, you guys.
Sorry, Liz Fisher. As far as the curls and the styling.
The styling?
Yeah.
She didn't even style it yesterday. Because I knew we were going swimming. So I told her, don't style it because it might get wet. I'm trying to not get it wet, but.
So she didn't style it. And then, but you still didn't want to get it wet because.
Okay, because the chlorine makes my hair, when my hair gets chlorine in it gets really nasty and gross. So I want to wash it right away. Right. And Hazi had just washed my hair that morning.
Gotcha.
And I only like to wash my hair with shampoo twice a week.
Did she use Tresemme?
I don't know what she uses.
Oh, okay.
It smells really good, though. Oh. I'm sure it's more expensive than Tresemme.
Is it the shampoo bottles with the kangaroos on them? No?
I know what you're talking about.
Go ahead. Everyone does.
The purple bottle.
My grandpa and grandpa had them.
Well, I didn't want to wash my hair again. I didn't want to deal with it, okay?
Yeah. But you pay over $100 for Hazi.
Yes, sir.
And the effect lasts 2
days,
3 days?
The startling brightness of the bleach lasts a week, probably. And then it kind of settles into what you see for the next month or so on me.
So the styling is gone.
Yes.
The night of the day of.
Yeah, I slept on it last night, so it got kind of rustled on my pillow as I move about. And then as soon as I get it wet and wash it again, it's like a reset. Because when your hair gets wet, it loses all styling. The heat is what holds it in place. But so the wetness gets rid of that.
The shimmer, the body, the contour, the texture of Hazi, it lasts a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the color mostly, like the brightness of the highlights.
The color.
I could try to recreate like the volume and the boom boom that she does when she blows it out.
Va va voom.
Exactly.
As Grandma Tian would say. So it'll be ready for Reno, or will the Hazi Rad Effect display itself in Nevada?
You betcha.
In a week or so?
I am waxed.
Yeah.
My highlights are fresh.
Yes.
I'm going to wax my arm hair this week.
Yeah.
I'm getting my nails done.
We're going to preen. We're going to groom. We're not talking about that Florida law.
I'm getting my nails done. I'm getting my fake spray tan.
Yeah.
I'm going to look like a real housewife of Beverly Hills.
Okay.
Come July 5th.
Real housewife of West Sacramento. Yeah. And I'm doing my own thing next weekend.
So what are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to shave.
What?
My
Head
chest,
to toe?
My armpits. You're going to shave my back. You're going to give me a haircut on Monday.
Yeah.
Before we go to Paul and Kathy Lewis's.
And by the way, if my fake spray tan looks really horrific and freaky, I'm not going to Kathy and Paul's for the 4th of July.
But you'll go to Reno.
I'm going to stay in hiding. Well, I hope by Reno, I hope it'll have faded.
Subside.
We're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Is that all you have? Like removing body hair? Is that all you have on your queue?
Yeah. Well, the body hair is a whole deal. There's chest, there's armpits, there's the haircut, there's back, there's trimmer on my legs.
I know, honey. I know.
Yeah. And we're going to do an entire pod about it. It'll be fascinating stuff.
We should do a YouTube.
Self-care.
Get ready with me.
Hey guys, a lot of you have been asking about my self-care routine. Alrighty. Well, are we done, honey?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, that's the end of the program. It's been fun, but not really. Let's all try a little harder next time. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, review, and rate, or don't. Do whatever you want. You're grown up. Make your own decisions. Do what's best for your familia. Please be sure to use our promo code for...
Please delete that.
We don't have a promo code for belch.
Please.
We're sorry, Liz Fisher.
I'm sorry, Mummy.
Goodbye, my podcast friends. I love you. My wife and I love you. We hope you have a good day today and tomorrow. And sure, I may have lied to Walmart, but I'm still a good person, and we're still good people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Thank you for caring. I hope you have a wonderful day / night. Bye-bye. We're eating chicken with gravy.
Hell yeah.
And mashed cauliflower.
Yes.
And the third thing was...
Caesar salad, and I'm going to cut up some Roma tomatoes and toss them in there. Oh my God.
My God. We have 5 Caesar salad kits. By the way, my mom thinks salad kits are a complete ripoff. And they are on some level. But they're super convenient and fantastic. So after this, we're going to have 4 Caesar salad kits.
Yeah.
Will that get us to Friday, honey?
I better.
Okay. Anything else?
We're going to finish RRR tonight?
RRR. Right. Which is a Tollywood. It's not Hollywood. It's not Bollywood. It's Tollywood.
Did you figure out what that meant?
Yes, but I can't remember right now.
Okay.
It's a city.
It's Bollywood adjacent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It's
we watched
India.
the first 48 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's freaking... It's both, at the same time, fantastic, and then also just dumb and cheesy and just silly, lame.
It's delightful and entertaining.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah. Well, that's what the entire thing, the entire 48 minutes that we've watched. And it's a 3-hour plus movie. It doesn't need to be 3 hours because we've already seen some fat that could be trimmed. But the entire time... Well, not the entire time, but for a lot of the 48 minutes, I've been like, this is dumb. This is stupid. This is ridiculous. But you know what? I'm here for it, girl.
It's cheesy.
Yeah.
But it's a dang good time.
Yeah. Yeah. And stylistically, it's unlike anything in American cinema.
Yeah.
It's super different.
True.
But it's entertaining. And we still have 2 hours and 12 minutes ago. But check out for our review.
Mm-hmm. Coming soon.
On the pod. Okay. Oh, bye-bye.
And oop. Ooh.
We got chicken.
Is that crispy, juicy tender? I can't eat no longer.